heal from trauma, from pain, from oppression, the first step is to name and recognize the injustice that was done. That's why it's so important for government to have courage, to speak truth and to recognize the gravest of injustices, genocide. Genocide is the most serious crime that can be committed. It's the erasure of a people, their culture, their ways, their lives. Genocide marks not only the community, but hurts us all. We're all one. And a genocide against any of us is a genocide against all of us. As a Sikh, the genocide that we experienced still has a devastating impact on us. That's why it was so powerful when all parties came together in this House to recognize the Sikh genocide. The passing of this motion was praised across the world because finally, after over 3 decades, our pain was legitimized. The grievous trauma we suffered was named and acknowledged. In 1984, Sikhs were burnt alive. We were victims of severe physical and sexual violence. Children were beheaded, all at the hands of the Indian government. So when the Ontario legislature recognized this state-organized violence as genocide, it sent a message to the Sikh people, a message that the pain we suffered was not our fault, that we didn't deserve it, and more, that the Indian government was wrong for carrying it out. It's also why many Sikhs are really hurt that last November, when elected officials across Canada, across this world, rose to remember the 1984 Sikh genocide, members of this Conservative government were silent. And it left the Sikh community wondering why. Why they didn't choose to speak against this heinous genocide then. So while I will be supporting this bill, and I want to thank the member from Scarborough Agincourt for having the courage to name the Sikh genocide, I urge the Conservative government to amend this bill and explicitly name the Sikh genocide in it. 2019 marks 35 years since the Sikh genocide, and though this year we will be remembering our history throughout it, we will also be remembering our trauma and the pain that the genocide created. And with April being Sikh Heritage Month, a time when Sikhs already come together, it's so fitting to have the Sikhs named in this bill. Naming the Sikh genocide will allow us to tell our own story in our own voice, and further allow us to heal from this pain. And more, in the spirit of Sarbata Pala, for the benefit of all, let us acknowledge other genocides committed to other communities, included in this bill or otherwise, Indigenous, Tamil, Assyrian, and more. Let us recognize their trauma as well, because when we lift others up, when we help others heal, we all rise. Thank you, Speaker.